It's TVS Nightline. You're now with me, Douglas Elliott. Tonight's top headlines. Shake-up in PBB leadership. A fierce six-way race sees all the new faces for the vice president positions. At least 18 killed in a stampede at a New Delhi railway station as crowds rush for Kumbh Mela. Good evening. Parti Pusaka Bumiputra Bersatu PBB underwent a major reshuffle on Sunday following a highly contested six-way race for its vice presidential seats. Two new faces emerged, Dato' Ibrahim Baki and Dato' Len Talif Saleh, while Dato' Sri Julaihi Narawi and Dato' Dr. Anwar Rapai successfully retained their positions. The results were announced by PBB Election Committee Chairman Dato' Awang Bimi Ali Basa during the party's 16th Triennial Delegates Conference. Political heavyweight Ibrahim topped the polls with 910 votes, a resounding victory in his debut contest, followed by Julaihi with 902 votes, Dr. Anwar with 786 votes, and Len Talif with 687 votes. Two incumbents, Dato' Sri Abdul Karim Rahman Hamzah and Dato' Dr. Abdul Rahman Junaidi, however, failed to retain their seats. Ibrahim, the Satok Assemblyman and GPS Dun Chief Whip, stood out with strong grassroots backing and decades of political acumen. Meanwhile, Len Talif brings extensive expertise in urban planning and environmental governance. PBB's 9 vice president posts include 2 reserved for the youth and women chiefs, 3 for the Pusaka wing and 4 for the Bumiputra wing. The 16th PBB General Assembly also saw the election of Supreme Council members from both the Bumiputra and Pusaka wings with top leadership positions unchallenged. Parti Pusaka Bumiputra Bersatu PBB reaffirms its commitment to stay relevant with a blend of new and seasoned leaders in its ranks. PBB Vice President Dato' Ibrahim Baki says the refreshed lineup brings diverse experience, strengthening the party's grassroots support.
So you have to maintain that, and continue to be relevant. So we have to move with changes. That's where people like me come in. There should be a rejuvenation in the party.
Meanwhile, fellow Vice President Dato' Len Talif Saleh emphasized that a smooth leadership transition is crucial for the party's continued success, a strategy many political parties have failed to implement.
For being relevant, you need to have a proper transition of power in a very organized and method way. So in that respect, PBB has been doing it. Termasuk saya dulu, kalau lihat dari segi penglibatan saya dalam politik 15 tahun yang lepas, yang merupakan what we call it, succession of kepimpinan dalam PBB yang sudah kita amalkan itu lama, dan oleh sebab itulah kata dalam pepatah Melayu, patah tubuh bila berganti.
Len also thanked the PBB leadership for allowing delegates to choose new leaders, marking a transition from senior leaders to a younger generation. He praises the party's leadership election process, which concluded in under 2 hours in a well-ordered and harmonious manner. Kapit Member of Parliament Dato' Sri Alexander Nanta Linggi has been reappointed as Parti Pusaka Bumiputra Bersatu PBB Secretary General for another term. His appointment was announced by the Premier of Sarawak and PBB President Dato' Patinggi Tan Sri Bangchari Tun Openg during the party's 16th Triennial General Meeting earlier today. According to Abang Johari, the decision was made after consultations with the party's deputy president and senior vice presidents and was formally endorsed by delegates from PBB's 82 branches.
Dan juga naib yang di pintu kanan, kita mencadangkan, kita melantik Yang Berhormat Datuk Seri Alexander Nanta Linggi.
Having previously helmed the role, Nanta is expected to continue strengthening the party's structure and strategy ahead of the next state and general elections. His reappointment also marks the formation of PBB's new Supreme Council for the 2025-2028 term. Now, still on PBB, former Parti Pesaka Bumiputra Bersatu PBB Vice President Dato Sri Abdul Karim Rahman Hamzah says he respects the decision of the party delegates after losing his bid to retain his position. He stressed that democracy must be upheld and accepted wholeheartedly.
Well, before the contest, I've already mentioned that this is a friendly family contest. The delegates has already made their decision. Well, I respect their decision. There must be a reason for it. Does not mean that when I lose, I will get upset. No, I'm still the same. I'm very happy that everything goes very well. I'm very happy to see that. And we have to respect the process of democracy as well as what the delegates has voted in, who the delegates has voted in.
Speaking to reporters at PBB's 16th General Assembly, Abdul Karim also addressed questions about his ministerial role, saying the final decision rests with the Premier.
Well, I see the cabinet as the prerogative of the Right Honourable Premier. Of course, probably his appointment in the cabinet from the position in the party, probably. But that is his prerogative. Whether it will affect or not, I will need to discuss with him because if the delegates has already made the decision, well, I will not put things difficult for him. Probably I will have to sit down with him and say if there is a need for him to look into the other possibility, reshuffling of cabinet and things like that, I'm prepared to let go because nobody is bigger than the party. And the party has already decided.
In the hotly contested vice presidential race, Abdul Karim received 669 votes, placing him fifth out of 6 candidates. Only the 4 candidates with the highest votes will secure the vice president post. In other news, Sarawak's new state-owned airline Air Borneo is set to shake up the aviation industry, bringing more competition and better options for travellers. According to Professor Dr. Muhammad Hizam Hanafi from the Faculty of Economics and Management of University Kebangsaan Malaysia UKM, this positive development will break monopolies that have long driven up prices, making air travel more affordable.
Jadi kalau kita nak kata apa impak positif Air Borneo ni, saya sebagai pengguna, saya memang sukalah. Maksudnya dari segi perspektif pengguna, semakin banyak pesaing lebih bagus. Kita nak industri semakin kompetitif. Kita tak nak industri yang ada monopoli. Tidak baik untuk pengguna. Bila semakin banyak pesaing, industri semakin kompetitif, pengguna akan ada lebih banyak pilihan, lebih banyak produk, lebih banyak tawaran, lebih banyak promosi. Dan kita hanya nak harga yang lebih murah, harga yang lebih kompetitif, pakej yang lebih baik dan lokasi yang lebih banyak, kekerapan penerbangan yang lebih tinggi.
Earlier this week, the Sarawak government finalized its takeover of Maswings, rebranding it as Air Borneo. Premier of Sarawak, Dato' Petinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Oping said the move will boost regional connectivity and drive economic growth. Additionally, Dr. Hizam stated that in order for Air Borneo to thrive in the competitive aviation industry, it must maintain strong financial resilience.
Dari perspektif industri itu sendiri, sebenarnya kehadiran Air Borneo ni kita perlu pastikan, kita haraplah tak menjadi seperti My Airlines lah. Jadi ia perlu mempunyai suntikan modal yang bagus supaya dapat berkembang sejajar dengan pemulihan ekonomi negara. Tapi ia juga bergantung kepada faktor-faktor yang lain. Permintaan pelanggannya, dan dalam industri penerbangan yang masalah utama adalah kenaikan harga minyak, naik turun harga minyak. Ini masalah. Naik turun ringgit Malaysia apa operasi di pasaran termasuk. Bagaimana menangani kos operasi yang tinggi dan juga bagaimana menghadapi pesaing besar daripada dua abang besar iaitu MAS dan juga Asia.
Nonetheless, Dr. Hizam is positive that the rebranding signals the airline's ambition to become a major player in the regional aviation industry.
Saya melihat penjenamaan semula Maswing kepada Asia menunjukkan Air Borneo mahu nak jadi pesaing utama di Sarawak, Sabah dan Kelantan. Itu perspektif saya. Jadi jika kerajaan negeri Sarawak ataupun pelabur di Sarawak serius menjadikan Air Borneo lebih berjaya, antara perkara yang perlu dibuat adalah menambah baik kemudahan-kemudahan di lapangan terbang, infrastruktur di Sarawak, termasuk juga di Sabah dan di Kalimantan. Yang lebih penting zaman sekarang ni kita bila ada teknologi digital ni mudahkan urusan warga Malaysia, warga ASEAN, warga dunia berkunjung ke Sarawak.
In India, at least 18 people have died in a stampede at a railway station in New Delhi as massive crowds rushed to board trains heading to the Kumbh Mela, the world's largest religious gathering. The tragedy struck late Saturday night, with reports saying most of the victims were women and children.
Officials say the crush began when a last-minute platform change caused panic among thousands of passengers trying to board a special train to Prayagraj, where the festival is being held.
फुटओवर ब्रिज से जो सीढ़ियां प्लेटफॉर्म की तरफ आती हैं, इस पर एक पैसेंजर के फिसलने की वजह से उनके पीछे जो पैसेंजर थे वो उसकी चपेट में आ गए और एक दुखद घटना घटित हुई है। इसकी जांच उच्च स्तरीय समिति द्वारा की जा रही है।
Eyewitnesses described chaotic scenes, with one railway porter said he had never seen a crowd like this before in his decades on the job.
प्रयागराज की गाड़ियां थी, वहां पर ज्यादातर भीड़ थी। इतनी कल भीड़ थी, इतनी और कभी नहीं थी इतनी भीड़। कल ज्यादा भीड़ थी। इधर प्रयागराज एक्सप्रेस लगी थी, इधर मडवाड़ी लगने वाली थी। अनाउंसमेंट हुआ था दोनों गाड़ी का। जैसे पब्लिक आ गई, छोटा पुल है ये, इतनी पब्लिक आ नहीं सकती इस पे। जैसे कोई लोग गिरे हैं इसके अंदर तो वही दब गए, उसके ऊपर ही चढ़ रहे हैं लोग बाग।
Despite the tragedy, crowds of devotees continue to flock to the station, with more police and security forces deployed to manage the surge. The Indian Railways Ministry has launched a high-level investigation into the incident. However, opposition parties have slammed the government's handling of the massive travel rush, accusing them of a cover-up. Prime Minister Narendra Modi expressed his condolences, saying he was distressed by the stampede and praying for a speedy recovery for the injured. The Kumbh Mela, which happens every 12 years, has a history of deadly crowd disasters. The worst occurred in 1954, when over 400 people died in a single day. More recently, 36 were killed in 2013.
Right, see the world closer with TVS as we bring you the latest news updates both locally and internationally. For more headlines anytime, just head on to our website at tvsarawak.my or follow us on our social media platforms. And those were the updates on TVS Nightline. I'm Douglas Elliott. Thank you for watching and have a good week ahead.